last week. Right, I think we were in ancient Egypt, and then, well, some monsters came up and whatnot, right? We had to escape them, and apparently the dinosaur's name is Ben. And this is where we had left off for homework. So let's get started. The first question, the very, very first question, it looks like a triangle, but is this really a triangle? What do you all think? Is that a triangle? Look at it properly. That is not a triangle, right? It just resembles a triangle, but that is actually a four-sided figure, which means it's a quadrilateral. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4. And this is a very popular trick for maths teachers, to play on students, right? First of all, the inside angles. Another word for inside is interior. Now, the inside angles are the 29, the 46, the 55, and G. This H is not inside the shape. That's outside the shape. So we don't care about H right now. In any four-sided figure, all the angles add up to how much? Well, what do you all remember from last week? In any four-sided figure, a quadrilateral, all the angles add up, right? The inside angles have to add up to 360 degrees. So that means to find G, which is a kind of big angle, but the point is G is inside the shape. When we add 29, 46, 55, and G, we're supposed to get 360. So to find G is very, very easy. We just add up 1, 2, 3, and minus it from 360. So let me add the 29, the 46, and the 55. I will get 130, and we minus that from 360 degrees. And when we minus it from 360 degrees, we got 230 degrees. How much of you all got that for the homework for the answer? G was 230 degrees. I'm going to just write it a little bit neater for you all here. All right, so a lot of people are saying, yes, they got 230 degrees. Do you all realize that at this boundary, well, this area here, that's a full circle? Remember, a full circle is 360 degrees also. So if you have a kind of shape like this, and we together figured out that here was 230 degrees. If I were to complete this shape, which is angle H, I will get a full circle. And a full circle is 360 degrees. So to find H, it's just simply 360 minus 230 degrees. And how much is that? 360 minus 230. Well, you all got it before me, 130 degrees. All right, so if you got both answers for homework, congratulations. And I know that the second question was the trouble question. So here's what I need for you all to do, right? I would like you all to draw the second shape, because I have a good feeling, while some people did do the homework, I get in the vibe that at least half the class did not attempt this homework, well, at least properly, based on the answers and the lack of answers coming through. All right, so I want everyone to draw this one for me. I'll give you a minute, and we're going to work this one through together. It's one of the harder questions out there. A little while. I know that if you look at this shape, you will not see an isosceles triangle. But let's use our imaginations, right? Let's say that we have an isosceles triangle. Now, an isosceles triangle two sides have the same length, just like last week. And these two are the base angles. The base angles, I'll use the letter B for base, right? The two base angles are always what? Equal, always, right? One second. All right. So tell me something. If I were to take a ruler and slice here, now this blue line and this line are perfectly parallel. The base and this blue line are parallel. Will these two angles change? Would the values of B change if I were to slice it with a blue line? What are your thoughts on that? The answer is no, we didn't even touch those angles, right? So that means here and here would still be the same. So tell me something. Do you all think you could use the imagination up here now? And of course, this length and this length would be the same, because since it's a parallel line, if here is 5 centimeters, I just say if, over here would also be 5 centimeters. Look at the homework question. If I were to extend this line and extend this line, you all see, well, I didn't do it properly, right? I didn't have enough space here. But you all realize if I extend this line and extend this line, I would get an isosceles triangle just like this. It's just that the examiner only decided to show you this portion on the screen. Everybody with me so far? By extending this line and extending this line, you would get an isosceles triangle, which means we just made it super, super easy, right? We just made it super, sorry, something touched there. We just made it super easy. Let me erase this line. It means that this angle and this angle is the same. So this angle and this angle has to be the same. If here is 62, then over here also has to be 62. They're asking you for the value of I. What plus 5 will give you 62? Who can tell me the value of I now? What plus 5 will give you 62? It would be 57. Okay. Right. So we just figured out the value of I. Next on the list now, right? Whenever you have two parallel lines and you slice them, remember you have an angle here and an angle here. So you have two eyes, this eye facing so. What do you call this situation? Is that alternating angles? Is that corresponding angles? Are those interior angles? Which situation is that? When the two eyes can actually see each other and they're in between two parallel lines. Look back in the notes. Which, right, that's interior angles. And interior angles always add up to how much? 180 degrees. This should be standard knowledge by now, right? So that means if here is 62, J needs to make the total 180 degrees. So to find J, it's just 180 minus 62, which is how much? 180 minus 62, and I get 118 degrees. How much people got that one for homework? Be honest, like they were able to reason that one out. One person, two people, right? This here, remember, all straight lines are 180 degrees. This here is a straight line. So the total angle has to be 180 degrees. Now you have a line like this. That's this line here. We just figured out over here was 118. But we know the total angle in a straight line has to be 180 degrees. So how do we find the pink portion? The pink portion is just 180 minus the 118. And I believe we will get what? 62 degrees. Now, most people got the 62. It's just that they stopped the question at that point. But what is representing that 62? 2k, right? So that means if 2k is equal to 62, because the 2k is representing the whole 62, we could use a little bit of algebra to solve for k. This 2 is a multiply. When you throw across a multiply, you get a divide, which is to the 1 degrees. Okay, right? So I think some of y'all forgot that when you throw across a multiply, you get what? A divide. And there was another way to figure it out. I now saw an easier way. Someone is telling me there's an easier way, right? The easier way would have been to use z angles. You all see a z angle here? So if here was 62, then over here would also be 62, right? Right? So if here is 62 and over here is 62, we still end up with 62 here. And this 62 is represented by 2k. So that means k is still 31. Oh, here we have a little skit. You all remember the ancient Egypt? How much of y'all, I don't know, that's plenty conspiracy theorists. How much of y'all believe that aliens built the pyramids? Well, I'm not one of them. I'm just asking. How much of you all? Right? Well, you know, it have people that, even though I used to believe that too, but you know, it's a pretty interesting concept, good for movies and whatnot. Right? So let's see what's going on here in this little skit. I guess his friend, the raptor, saved him from the aliens. I guess he's a good raptor. All right. All right. So let's move to the next. Topic. We're going to move to more complex polygons. How much of you all know what a polygon is? What is a polygon? Like if I were to ask you for a definition of a polygon, how much of you all could safely say you can tell me exactly what a polygon is? Right. Now here's the thing, right? A lot of people think polygons are only figures like this, like things with 5 sides and things with 6 sides, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. When you hear the word polygons, you think a shape with a lot of sides. While that is sort of true, that's not totally true. Did you all know a triangle is a polygon? A triangle is the simplest polygon there is. For it to be a polygon, it must have sides, and all the sides must connect together. So there's no openings. A quadrilateral is a 4-sided polygon. A 5-sided polygon is called a pentagon, and a 6-sided polygon is called what? A hexagon, right? So here's where I'm getting at, right? You have to be careful when the examiner uses the word polygon as opposed to a regular polygon. In a regular polygon, once you see the word regular, it means all the sides have the same length. All right? So whenever you hear the word regular polygon, just means all the sides have the same length. If the examiner just says, hey, it's a polygon, but does not use the word regular, then most likely, and I'm using those words, most likely all the sides do not have the same length. So in other words, if I tell you there's a regular three-sided polygon, that means it's an equilateral triangle. If there's a regular four-sided shape, regular four-sided polygon, then most likely it's a square, because in a square, all the sides have the same length. Quick question. Let's do a quick thing here. In a triangle, if you add up all three angles, and I'm talking about the inside angles, the inside angles are called interior angles. All the angles in a triangle add up to 180. In a four-sided figure, if you were to add up all the interior angles, you will get 360. But what about a five-sided polygon? How much will all the angles be equal to? And if you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, if you have a 10-sided shape, if you were to add up all 10 angles, how much would the angles be? So you all see where I'm going with this. Since primary school, if somebody were to ask you for a triangle, you know the answer is 180. You know for any four-sided shape, it's 360. But when it starts to get a lot of sides, like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, those things were not really taught in primary school, and they were not really taught in Form 1. So there must be a formula in order to figure out the total amount of angles in a polygon. And here is the formula you need to work out. And the brackets in this formula are very, very important. Interior angles total, right, is equal to open brackets n minus 2 multiplied by 180 degrees, where n is the amount of sides. You just always work out brackets first in maths. Everyone take down this formula, and I'm going to quickly show you how to use this formula. In a triangle has how much sides? Obviously 3. 1, 2, 3. So to figure out all the angles, the sum of all the angles in a triangle, you throw away the letter n and replace it with what? 3. 3 minus 2 is how much? 1. So inside the brackets, we get 1. And whatever we get in the brackets, we have to multiply by 180 degrees. 1 multiplied by 180 is how much? 180. Let's try it for a four-sided figure. In a four-sided figure, the letter n represents the amount of sides. 1, 2, 3, 4. So inside the brackets, we end up with 4 minus 2, which is how much? 2. 2 multiplied by 180 is how much? 360. Do you all think you could try it for a pentagon, a five-sided figure? Replace the letter n with 5. So you say 5 minus 2, whatever you get, multiplied by 180, and send the answer on the screen. Right, Huggins, correct. Right, Samir, correct. Kadira, correct. Jamie, correct. Cadence, correct. Elijah, check it back. Right. Remember, okay, if you try to work it out straight on a calculator without putting your brackets, you will get the wrong answer, right? Because remember, a pentagon has 5 sides. So you're putting 5 here. The minusing part, you can do that in your head. I don't think you need a calculator for that, right? So you say 5 minus 2. You always have to minus 2, and you will get how much? 3. Take the 3 and multiply it by 180, and you'll see 540. For those who got it wrong, just correct it on your end, and please let me know when you've finished rectifying that problem. All right? How about for those who are looking for a little challenge? Remember the 10-sided figure? I believe there's called a 10-sided figure a decagon, right? If you had 10 sides, how much would all 10 angles add up to? I see some people putting answers already. Good, good. Right? Bishan, yeah, you can do it like that, but that would take too long. Right? Zachary, check it back, check it back. If it's a 10-sided figure, you have to replace the letter N with 10. 10 minus 2 is 8. So this would change to 8. You take the 8 and multiply it by 180, and I am getting 1440 degrees. Right, Zachary, you saw your mistake. Let's continue this story now, right? So I guess 1 alien was left alive. No, 2 aliens were left alive. You all remember the dinosaur was a vegan, right? How much of you all remember that from last week, that the dinosaur said he was a vegan? But why did he eat the alien? Anybody have any theories on why he ate the alien? I mean, aliens have meat, right? Somebody said the aliens made a tofu. I have a better explanation here. You see, he's a vegan, a velociraptor who eats guts and nutritious meat. It's an acronym. I don't know if you all get that. Okay, I'm moving on. All right. All right, so let's move on here. That was the best I could have come up with. And look, the time portal has opened again. So I guess our hero Jedi gets sucked into the portal, and one of the alien goes with him. All right, so calculating exterior and interior angles, right? I just want to, oh, I think we just did this one. Oh, 1 second, that was a repeat there. All right, so this is where the fun starts now, right? Where they ended up in the medieval times. So I want everyone to quickly draw A for me. And your job is to calculate the value of X. Now, let me give you some advice so you have a little jump start on it. How much sides does this shape have? 1, 2, 3, 4. Easy enough. Now we know off the top of our head that any 4-sided shape, the total interior angles is going to be what? 360 degrees always. All right. So I want everyone to find X for me. And we're going to, after we do that, this is an easy question, but we're going to do a little experiment on all of these 3 here. Find X for me quickly. So just to clear up a few things, the interior angles of any 4-sided shape is going to be what? 360. So all we have to do is add the 88, the 45, and the 70 and minus it from 360. Easy enough. Let's add it up. 70 plus 88 plus 45. That's 203. So to find x, we just take the 360 and minus 203. And how much will we get? That's why I made a mistake. 360 minus 203. I am getting 157 degrees. So x, I could put the answer here is 150. I put 7, 6 by mistake, but it's supposed to be 7. All right, great. Quick question. Is this a regular polygon? Yes or no? Is that a regular polygon? The answer is no. You all are correct. Because if I use the word regular, it means that all the sides have to be the same length. Now, if the angles are different, the lengths of the sides are also going to be different. And even better, just by looking at my drawing, you see the sides have different lengths. So it's not a regular. Now, we are so accustomed talking about interior angles. Remember, whenever the angles are inside, they are called interior. But how come we never talk about exterior angles, the angles outside? You gotta be real careful about what is an exterior angle. I'll just write the word here, just take a focus on it. Exterior angle. You're going to use the imagination here. You're going to pretend that all of these lines are roads. And you just need to take a starting point. Let's here be the starting point. And you're going to drive around this shape. But we're going to assume that you do not obey the speed limit. You like to speed. And what happens when you speed? You will run off the road. Now you have two options, and it really doesn't matter. It's either you could speed around the shape this way, or you could go the other way. It really doesn't matter. I'm going to go this way. So I start here and I begin to drive. And I'm driving so hard, there's a sharp corner, but you're driving fast. So you skid off the road. You all see that line there, right? That's the skid marks on the mud there. So you reverse, but you didn't learn your lesson. So you drive fast again, and then you skid off the road by this corner. You didn't learn your lesson, so you reverse and you drive again, and you run off the road. You reverse again and you drive. So in all the cases, you are running off the road. Remember, a straight line is how much degrees? 180 degrees. Do you all think you all could calculate this angle for me? If this is a purely straight line, and here's 45 degrees, how much is this exterior angle? I'll put EX, exterior angle. You just minus it from 180, and I'm getting 135. 1 second, guys. I just have to pause my video. Just give me 1 second. I have to take a photo. All right. Do you all think you all can calculate the next exterior angle? You're driving, right? Try to find this angle. If here's 70, how much is the balance? And do that for all of them. Find the exterior angles going on the fact that a straight line is 180 degrees. So find here for me. If here's 70, how much is here? 180 minus 70 is 110. If here is 157, minus it from 180, I'm getting 23. If here is 88, how much is the balance? 180 minus 88. 92. I want you all to add up all the exterior angles now. All 1, 2, 3, 4. All the pink angles. And tell me how much you get for this shape. And I have to mark it here. Right, Siobhan, correct. Janelle, correct. Kristen, correct. Right, Ariana, correct. you realize you're going to get what? 360 degrees. Add up everything in pink: 92, 135, 110, 23. So a lot of people are going to jump to this conclusion. And here's the conclusion they're going to jump to. And we're going to see if you're right or you are wrong, right? In a four-sided shape, the interior angles add up to 360. We see it here. And the exterior angles are also 360. Do you think it's fair to say that the interior angles and the exterior angles are always equal? Just look at A. Question A. You notice the interior total and the exterior total is the same. Do you all think that is a fair assumption? Right. Some people are saying yes, and some people are saying no. I don't think it's fair to come to a conclusion as yet. Shouldn't we do more examples to see if this is actually correct? Let's do another example. Well, lucky for us, we have B, right? This is what now? A five-sided shape. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In a five-sided shape, the interior angles add up to how much? Remember, we have to use this formula. It's no longer 360 degrees inside. So you have to replace the letter N with what? 5, because that's the number of sides. And we multiply by 180, and we get 540 degrees. So the interior angles of a pentagon is 540. Do you all think you all could quickly find X for me? If all the angles have to add up to 540, the interior angles, finding X should be a breeze. Right, so let me start adding up all the angles. 105 plus 131 plus 84. I am getting 67 degrees. Right, but just confirm it on your calculator. Make sure you're actually seeing the 67. All right, so let's do the experiment again. In part A, right, the interior angles and the exterior angles were equal. So for those of you who said, well, that's a good pattern, then we should expect this. If the interior angles are 540 for a pentagon, then the exterior angles, when we add them up, should also be what? 540. But let's do the calculations. Calculate this angle, calculate this angle, this angle, this angle, and this angle. Remember, you're just taking the angle and minusing it from 180 because a straight line is 180. And then add up all the exterior angles and tell me if you get 540. Right, so let me find all the exterior angles. This one minus it from 180. 180 minus 67. I am getting 113. If here is 153, minus it from 180, I get 27. And so I go, right? Here's 96. Here is 49. And this last one is, he will be 75 degrees. Now let's add up all the pink angles. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. But when you add up all the exterior angles, the pink angles, we do not get 540. We still get back what? 360 degrees. So it seems that interior angles, as the amount of sides increase, the interior angles change. But it seems that the exterior angles always add up to 360 degrees. But do you think we should do one more to clarify that? Look at this shape here. It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is a hexagon. For a hexagon, the interior angles, we could use this formula. Replace the letter n with 6. 6 minus 2 is what? 4. 4 multiplied by 180 is 720 degrees. Make sure you see it on your calculator. Find x for me quickly, knowing that all the interior angles in a hexagon add up to 720. All right. There's a little noise outside. There's a fish pond outside. So that's the noise you all are hearing. All right. So let me add it up to 135 plus 110 plus 120. I am getting 125, if I'm not mistaken. 125. Double check it, right? Siobhan, check it back. You put 120. Now calculate all the exterior angles. Pretend you're driving around the shape. All you're doing is minusing the inside angle from 180. That is all you are doing. And then add up all the exterior angles and see if you get 720 or 360 degrees. So I calculated the exterior angles by minusing all the interior from 180, right? And when I add it up, the exterior angles still give me what? 360 degrees. Now I think it's a fair assumption, a fair conclusion to come to that interior angles could change depending on the amount of sides. But the exterior angles is almost like magic. The exterior angles, no matter what, they always add up to 360 degrees. And it doesn't matter if it's a regular polygon or a polygon, right? If the sides are the same or if the sides are different. That what I just said holds, meaning that interior angles can change, but exterior angles are always summed up to 360 degrees, right? Oh. I guess this is the first time the knight is seeing an alien. All right, so some I don't think we have to do all the questions here, right? For this one, I'm more interested in doing, you don't have to draw this one up. You think you all could do E for me and F for me quickly? Find the value of X in both cases. I believe the only trick in this is you have to remember when you see a box, it's how much? 90 degrees. And a lot of students just, they bypass it. Their eyes just bypass the box and you forget it's 90 degrees. So you can leave out D. That's too easy. I ain't going to waste your time with that one. E and F. So this first shape, let me just see how much size it has. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 6 and 7. So that's 7-sided. So n minus 2 multiplied by 180. Replace the letter n with 7. 7 minus 2 is 5. 5 by 180 is 900 degrees. Now, I'm only asking about interior angles in these questions. So the total angles add up to 900. You just add up all the ones they gave you, minus it from 900. So how much is X? 900 minus 96. I got 714 here. So when I minus it, I get, that's so. I think I did something wrong here. Let me add it back up again. Right? So the mistake was it wasn't 714. When you added up, when you added all the angles they gave you, I got 754. So we minus it from 900. And now I get the correct answer, 146 degrees. Right? And what everybody was trying to tell me I made a mistake. And you all were right. You are right. All right. So X is 146. Now I'm just saying if, and I'm going to make you do it. If you were to add up all the exterior angles, you would simply just get 360 degrees. F quickly. F has how much sides? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, this is a hexagon, right? So we have n minus 2, right? So n minus 2, this shape has how much sides? 6. So you have to replace the letter n with 6. And that's the formula, right? N just represents the amount of sides. So 6 minus 2 is what? 4. 4 multiplied by 180. 4 multiplied by 180. Let me try that on my calculator. I am getting 720 degrees. Okay. Right. So you have 720 degrees. So when you add up all the angles, minus it from 720 to find X. So let's add it up, right? And I suspect some people forgot the 90 degrees here, right? 90 plus 202 plus 40 plus 127 plus 150. When you add up all the given angles, I get 609 minus that from 720, and we get what? 111 degrees. Right? Make sure you get it. Just confirm it on my end, right? All right, so apparently all visitors to the kingdom or new visitors have to do what? You know, see the king. All right, so here's a slightly different type of questions that come in the exam, right? You notice I use the word here, regular, which means that all the sides have the same length, okay? If all the sides have the same length, then by extension, all the angles have the same value. It's like an equilateral triangle. If all the sides are the same, then all the angles are the same. Do you all think for the first one, you could find the value of X? You notice I did not give you the rest of the values, like in the previous questions. Now, in the previous questions, I gave you the other angles, so you would just simply add them up and minus it from the total. Now, you're going to have to count the sides to figure out how much sides it has, right? So a nonagon, right, it has how much? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it has 9 sides. To figure out the amount of degrees, you use this formula. It was a formula given earlier today, where the letter n represents the amount of sides. So in today's question, well, since there are 9 sides, we say 9 minus 2 in brackets and multiplied by 180. Now, it's so easy to work out the brackets part. We just do it in our heads. 9 minus 2 is 7. That's how I get the 7. Multiplied by 180, and let's see what we get. 180 multiplied by 7, is 260 degrees. Now, a lot of people sent me that. So that means the total of all the angles, all 9 angles, because if it have 9 sides, it must have 9 angles. And since it's a regular, it means not only are the sides equal, but so are the angles. So if there are 9 angles and all of them are equal, we just simply divide it by 9, and it means that each angle is 140 degrees. And the only reason we allow to divide it by 9 is because it's regular, meaning that all the angles are the same. So he's 140, he's 140, 140, 140, 140, all the way around the shape, right? I believe a decagon is how much? 10 sides, if I'm not mistaken. I believe you count it, you'll get 10 sides for part E. So see if we could find X for part E, and a dodecagon, how much? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I'm just making sure here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So this one has 12 sides. No, you don't have to draw the shapes. This could be too complex to draw, right? You just do the calculations for me. All right, so to get the amount, it's n minus 2 in brackets, multiplied by 180. We said it had 10 sides, so 10 minus 2 is 8 by 180. Let's see what we get there. 8 multiplied by 180 is 1440. So, and it have 10 sides, which means it has 10 angles. 1440 to find the value of x, and we divide it by 10. So each angle here is 144 degrees, right around the shape, each one. And a lot of people got it correct, right? Some people sent answers, they were wrong, but I believe you just mistyped it on your keyboard, right? I believe most people meant to send 114. I mean 144. The next one, right, it has 12 sides. So we're using the same formula, n minus 2 multiplied by 180. Since it's 12 sides, we replace the letter n with 12. 12 minus 2 is 10. 10 multiplied by 180. But anyone could do that in their head, you'll get 1800. And since it's 12 sides, we have 12 angles, and it's a regular, meaning all the angles are the same, divided by 12. 1800 divided by 12, and I get 150 degrees. Right, so for the people who got 150 for the last one, you are correct. All right, let's see what's going on here. All right, so give the instructions a read, right? So you all are not seeing complete shapes here. It's like this, like if you have a shape like this, right? What the examiner did, he took a screenshot of only part of the shape. So it's like you only snapshot this shape here. And of course, if you only seeing this part of the shape, you don't know how much sides the entire shape has. So that is what this question is about. It's about finding how much sides the original shape has by just seeing a screenshot. But let's analyze the wording in these questions. They are giving you one of the interior angles. So all of these angles in blue, the blue angles, Those are inside the shape. Also, they said it's a regular polygon. So we know another thing now. We know the interior angles, and since it's regular, it means that all the sides of the original shape have the same what? Length. Okay? And also all the angles by extension are equal. No matter, like if this shape had 20 sides, well, we don't know if this has 20 sides. We don't know if this shape has 31 sides. And of course, we don't know if this shape has simply 7 sides. The only thing we know for sure, is that the exterior angles always add up to how much? We can't really say anything about the interior angles today, but all exterior angles always add up to how much? How much angles does it always add up to? Shivani correct, Matthew correct, Adira correct, Brittany correct. It's always 360 degrees. At least we know that for sure. So do you all think you all can find one of the exterior angles for me? If this interior angle is 144, to find the exterior angle, we always just simply minus it from 180, because the interior and exterior ultimately form a straight line. How much are we getting today? It will be 180 minus 144. So we know here is 36 degrees. Right. So to find out how much sides this shape has, we know all the exterior angles have to add up to how much? 360. And each one of them, because it's a regular, is 36 degrees. So to find the amount of sides, we always take 360 and divide it by one of the exterior angles. How much sides do you think is the answer for part A? And I'm going to keep saying this for 6 questions, A to F. To find the amount of sides, you take 360, always 360, and divide it by one of the exterior angles. But it only works if it's a regular polygon. Vishal, check that back, please. All you're doing is taking 360 and dividing it by 36. You minus it by mistake. It's divide. 360 divided by 36 is 10. Draw the first one, put the work in next to it, and I want you to take down the instructions at the top too. And then I want you to do B and C, but only do B and C. Wait on me to work them out to make sure you have it correct. And when you're finished, then do D, E, and F. So the answer for part A is 10 sides. This shape had 10 sides. For B, right? Remember, if we want to find the exterior angle, that's this angle here, right? It really doesn't matter if you do it like that or if you do it like this, like you went off the road in this direction. You're going to get the same answer. The point is we are taking this and minusing it from how much? 180 degrees. So the exterior angle is 5 degrees. So to figure out the amount of sides, exterior angles always add up to 360. Each one of the exterior angles is a mere 5 degrees. We divide it. When we divide it, how much we get? 360 divided by 5. And I am getting 72 sides. Yep, that shape had a lot of sides. I do not know what you call a shape like that. Right? Try C. A lot of people are getting a huge answer for part C. Most likely it's correct. All right. So this is obviously going to be 2 degrees, right? Because 178 plus 2 will give you 180. So exterior angles always add up to 360 divided by 2, and you're going to get 180 sides. Right, so I think you're getting the hang of it now, right? All you're doing is extending one of the sides, right? And when you extend one of the sides, right, you're going to get a straight line. You're finding the outside angle, which is the exterior angle, and whatever you get, take it and take 360 and divide it by that. 360 and divide it by the exterior angle. Right? You're going to need a calculator for E and F, right? So do D, E, and F, but also draw it and then send your answers. I believe this one will be 3 degrees, right? I'll just put in the exterior angles for all first. 180 minus 168.25. No, sorry, 180 minus 168.75, and I am getting 112.5 degrees here. And this other one is 180 minus 172.5 degrees. I'm getting 7.5 degrees here. Right, so I'm hoping you're getting those values. All you're doing, like I said, is taking the interior angle, the blue one, and minusing it from 180 degrees. Dividing him by 3, by 11.25, and by 7.5. And let's see how much sides we end up with. For the first one, I am getting 120 sides. 360 divided by 11.25, I am getting 32 sides. And the last one, 360 divided by 7.5, I am getting 48 sides. Right? Please confirm with me when you get the answers on the recording. The only thing I need for you all to do for homework is go through back today's video. It's mandatory that everyone go through back the videos. And this time, when you're going through the videos, all the diagrams that I have, I need you to copy it back into your books. Doing back the video a second time will really make it stick. And I know watching back the video and drawing back everything could be, on average, I assume it takes about 2 hours to do, right? To do it properly and to really let it absorb. So that's your homework, right? And for those who don't know how to access the recordings, I'm going to go through it one more time, right? So everyone else is free to leave, right? And of course, I'm going to go through back how to access the homework, right? So when you go to the school website, I'm just going to copy and paste. I'll send the link just now to everyone, right? 1 second. You have to go to the school website. I sent it on the chat there, right? All you have to do is, when you go to the school website, look for summer recorded classes. It is clicking on summer recorded classes because it is summer program. Scroll down, all the classes for all the subjects are in here. All you have to do is look for Saturday, scroll down till you see Saturday math. The first class is up already, last week class is up already, and of course by tomorrow, today's class will be here, right? For those who did not do the homework of the algebra, once again, you have to go to the maths classroom, and this was stated in all the videos. Just scroll down until you see lesson 1 in the maths classroom, lesson 1 inside the maths classroom. click on lesson 1 and you're doing the first 7 videos, and it has some worksheets to go with it. Videos 1 to 7 in lesson 1 in the maths classroom, right? So yes, I agree, by now everyone should have the link, but apparently that's not the case. All right, so take care, guys. You have a lot of work to do, and of course, see you next week.